Gee, Travis, I'm sorry it's so dark and cold this time of year where you live. That must be really hard. Yeah, it is hard. But isn't that kind of the point, really? Isn't that the whole point? Because adversity builds character. And absence makes you appreciate things more when you get them finally. You know, I mean, I could have lived anywhere, you guys. I could have moved someplace that's pleasant outside all the time, always nice and warm. I could have done that. But then I would have been deprived of the euphoria, the sweet, sweet relief when the temperature comes up just enough so that all the air around me is no longer trying to murder my face. I would have been deprived of that. And you're probably thinking, Travis, do you think Alaska's the right place for me to live? Well, that depends on you. Are you the kind of person who can think about things in an inverse, self-serving sort of way? Can you put everything through a filter that makes it seem positive when it isn't? Can you think something is good and pleasant for everybody around you even though really it's painful and bad for them? Can you do that? Because I can, right? For example, I think I sound kind of nice when I'm playing the guitar and singing.
Travis writes it down when he laughs at a thought because he hopes you'll laugh too, but probably not.
This glass is half full. Does that make me an optimist? Now it's empty. What does that make me? And are there meetings available for it? An optimist is someone who knows that the unexamined life is not worth living. Whereas a pessimist, now that's somebody who knows that an examined life isn't either. A pessimist is somebody who thinks it's too cold here, why do we live here? Whereas an optimist thinks, well, adversity builds character. Deprivation increases appreciation, as Johnny Cochran might say. I mean, people that live in California where it's always nice, they turn into people who expect it to always be nice. But those of us that live in Alaska where it's dark and cold so often, I mean, sometimes our mountains have a temper tantrum and just spew liquid fire into the air along with tons and tons of volcanic ash, which is basically microscopic little razor blades that pile up on your car, and if you disturb them, it ruins your paint job. Or they go in your automotive filter and damage your engine, or they get in your eyes or your lungs and rip you apart. Here in Alaska, we just pull our car over, shut it off, get our goggles on, get our face mask out of the glove compartment and put that on and walk home. And yes, we all have face masks. That's why you couldn't find any during COVID. We stockpile them because microscopic razor blades, hello. And it's not like we were being selfish. We were perfectly willing to share them with you. $70 for a 3-pack of disposables. That's reasonable. Sometimes while we're dealing with the breathable razor blades and the sub-zero temperatures and the darkness that seems to never end, the ground starts violently shaking under our feet, back and forth, up and down for a minute or two at a time. Every glass thing in our house hits the floor, and when it finally stops shaking, what do? Well, adversity builds character. So we pull on our shoes so we don't get cut from the glass, and then we grab a broom and start cleaning it up because we're not entitled. You know, if we were in the flooding that's happening down south, we would just probably say something like, hey, let's fashion a boat out of the ash, and then we'll let the waves from the earthquake wash us to higher ground. And if it washes us away from higher ground, well, at -8 degrees, the waves are going to freeze eventually, and we'll just walk to higher ground. You know, whereas in California, they're like, oh, where's FEMA? And I don't want you to think that means I don't think they deserve FEMA. They probably pay a lot more taxes than we do because 50% of the calories we burn in Alaska go into shivering to stay warm instead of into productivity. So I guess my point is it all works out. It all works out. And adversity builds character, and it all works out. You know who says adversity builds character? Old people. That's right, I'm making another old person joke. The reason I make so many old person jokes, there's 3 reasons. One, they say you should write about what you know, and I learn more and more about being an old person every day. The second reason, the number 2 reason why I make jokes about being an old person, the second one is, I can't remember the second one right now, but the third reason why I make jokes about being an older person is it's all part of my plan for aging gracefully. I want to age gracefully. Just accept it. I'm not judging you if you want to fight getting older. I'm not judging you if you want to dye stuff or tuck stuff up or implant or remove or take hormone shots or date someone half your age. I'm not judging any of that. I do have a theory on why people want to fight aging. And my theory is judgy as fuck, and here goes. Okay. I think that people have like 20 years, 25 years, maybe 30 to adjust who they are as people, their core personality. After that, I mean, you can do course corrections, but basically you're locked in as that person now. I think a lot of people get to an age where they look at themselves and go, I don't like who I am. I want to change. In order to change, you have to be younger, and that's why they fight aging. Now, there's plenty of things about myself I would like to do better, but I'm also kind of accepting that I'm getting old because I crunch the numbers, you guys. Every day, 385,000 new people are born. That's new people younger than you. 2.5 million people a week. Every day, 166,000 people shake off this mortal coil and go on to find out what the next mystery is all about. Most of them are probably older than you. That means that in any given year, where you rank between youngest and oldest, your position moves 200 million spots up that list. That means that by the year 2033, you're going to be over 100 years old. Now, if that didn't sound right, I want you to know I got those numbers off of Wikipedia. I did all the math in my head, and I blatantly lied right there at the end. So I guess my message to you today is as follows. Adversity builds character. Don't waste your precious time trying to look like somebody who is younger than you are. Use your time to have fun with it, you guys. And to that end, my next message is bourbon's pretty good. Okay, lastly, if it starts flooding, swim like hell. That's the only way to stick around. And it's really cold out here. I have built way more character today than I am at all comfortable with, so I hope I see you guys next time. Subscribe, like, comment, share, delete, whatever you got to do. See you next time.